Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing episode number 18 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my viewers' teams into the best teams possible for my team unlimited and or competitive play, based on how much MT they have and what their squad is currently looking like. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, help me push towards the 9,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I apologize for no uploads the past couple days. I went out of town on like Tuesday morning and just got back here on Saturday night, so I apologize that I didn't get videos on Friday or Saturday. I just couldn't record them that far in advance, and also if I had recorded them that far in advance, they wouldn't have been up to date with Friday and Saturday's content. So I do apologize for that, but we're back at it with daily uploads. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. First team today comes in from my boy Carson. He's got 1,000,000 MT. He's praying Yao's price comes down, as kind of we all are, to be honest, and then he's considering getting up JT or Terry. Would like to hear my thoughts on the squad. So he's got Magic and Lonzo. I like those PGs a lot. Kazi, Ricky Davis, Luol Deng. He's got SJ as well. Tim Thomas, LeBron, Nedolicki, Dolph, D-Rob, and Kareem, as well as KP. So like your centers a lot. They're the two best centers that aren't named Yao in the game. I will say this: if you match up against a Yao before you get him yourself, play Kareem matched up against Yao. He's just going to compete better than D-Rob. Bigger player build, better interior defender, I think, by a little bit. So I'd probably just throw that in there. But for now, honestly, what I might consider doing is getting Terry Dishinger. I think having Terry be your starting shooting guard and then having Kazi come off the bench, where Kazi's kind of a better defensive option compared to Ricky Davis, and then Terry doesn't have to be your primary ball handler in your starter since you have Tim Thomas and the 5-out ability with Magic. So what I would do is slot in Terry at the 2, bring Kazi off the bench at the 2, sell Ricky Davis, sell these other 3 in the bench guys, and then just try to save your MT, because Yao will come down, or they will drop an alternative to Yao. He is just ridiculously overpowered right now, and it's not worth spending that much MT on him. Well, you don't have the MT to spend on him regardless. So if you have the MT, it kind of actually is worth spending that much MT. But for now, just get Terry, bring Kazi off the bench, sell the players you can sell and save your MT. Hope that Yao comes down and they drop a great alternative to him here in the near future. So next team today comes in from my boy Peyton. He's got 60k MT. Penny, Lonzo, Kazi Russell, Luol Deng, LeBron, Gerald Wallace, Dolph Shays, AD, D-Rob, and Tim Duncan. Love this squad. No problems with it whatsoever. You got guys in every position that can pretty much do everything that you could ask for. Now, I will say it'd be nice if you could find a way to get a guy like Magic Johnson in this lineup. I think that'll help you out if you could just get him at the PG position. Either that or potentially, probably wouldn't recommend this one as much, but maybe finding a way to get Kareem instead, because Kareem's size will be more valuable than D-Rob's or Tim Duncan's if you do match up against a Yao, but that's going to be a more expensive option, whereas just selling one of these PGs and buying Magic is going to be a more attainable, feasible option for now. That's just my opinion, though. Outside of that, I don't think there's a ton you can do with this squad. You could replace Gerald Wallace with a Jonathan Isaac or a Thurl Bailey or somebody like that who is not free like Gerald is, but probably slightly better because of player build and size and things like that. But overall, you got yourself a very solid squad already. Not really one that I would recommend spending a ton of MT to try to find ways to upgrade or anything, but if you can get Magic, I think that'll be the best upgrade for now. Third team today comes in from Crix. He's got Luka, and he says Luka is untouchable, but this is the squad that he is currently working with. 200k MT, Luka and SGA. I would have Luka play point guard. I'll say that. If you want to start him, cool. If you want to bring him off the bench and start SGA at point guard, that works too. Just either way, find a way to get Luka and SGA as your 2 PGs. At that point, go get yourself 2 shooting guards. The 2 shooting guards that are going to be recommended to get, in my personal opinion, are going to be Ricky Davis and Luol Deng. They're the 2 cheapest and best budget options that you can get for reasonable amounts of MT that can both run offense and create shots for you. Outside of that, go get yourself a Thurl Bailey or a Jonathan Isaac to play the 3, or a Bailey Howell. Just pick one of those 3 guys. Have James Worthy come off the bench. Outside of that, team is good. AD and Bam are great. Tim Duncan, DeMarcus, I don't love it. Center's going to be your next upgrade, in my opinion. Maybe even if you can get a guy like KP with some extra Hall of Fame badges for cheap, or a D-Rob, that's a great option. But D-Robs are going to be a bit too expensive, especially if you already buy 2 shooting guards and a budget small forward. But you can get those 2 shooting guards, budget small forward. You're not going to spend a ton of MT, so you might be pretty close even after buying those 3 guys to get yourself a D-Rob at the center position or a Kareem or somebody like that. So that would be the next position that I'd be saving to upgrade. But for now, SJ and Luka as your PGs, and then go get yourself those 2 shooting guards, Luol and Ricky Davis, and go get yourself a small forward like John Isaac, Thurl Bailey, or Bailey Howell as well. Outside of that, save for the center. You're going to be looking pretty. Next squad comes in from Jimmy. He's on next gen. Says he plays those guards, runs to the rim. 5 Dom games from Dr. J. I love that. And then he said he's bidding on D-Robs. So he's going to have Donald, Lonzo, Dr. J, Terry Dishinger, Joe Smith, Cincy, Dolph, Bob, AD, and DeMarcus Cousins. So I would assume once you get Dr. J, you just move Terry to the bench, sell Kazi. That's an easy, just free MT right there. Same thing with Luol. Luol is great. As good as I love him, if you have Dr. J and Terry, the two best shooting guards of the game, there's no point in keeping him, even in your last three, so I'd sell him as well. I do like the fact that you got SGA in your last three, so you have another bigger point guard if you need another option since Donald is short, and Lonzo's your only backup point guard that's big, so having another one at SGA is valuable. But if you like Donald, keep him. If not, maybe go get Magic. I think center is definitely your biggest spot to upgrade. I would go get D-Rob and Kareem personally, and honestly just not play AD or DeMarcus Cousins anymore. You could play those two guys as your centers. Outside of that, squad is good. You can replace Sensi Powell with somebody else if you'd like to as well. Maybe, I mean, you do have Joe Smith at the 3, but maybe a guy like LeBron at the backup 3, but I don't know how much LeBron is going for right now. And if you're already buying two centers, maybe you just hold on to Cincy for now. So I think he's pretty good. So get Dr. J, start him at the 2, bring Terry off the bench, potentially consider getting a guy like Magic, and then get those two centers, especially D-Rob and Kareem, to hold it down against guys who have cards like Yao. So really good squad though. Sell your extra pieces as well, like a guy like Luol Deng, especially once you have, and Kazi Russell obviously as well, once you have Dr. J and Terry Dishinger. But nice squad. Just needs a couple upgrades. IDK says he is sitting on 250K-ish MT, debating to pick up Magic or not. He's got Penny Hardaway, Ricky Davis, Tim Thomas, AD, and D-Rob, with SGA, Luol Deng, Joe Smith, John Kemp, and Kareem off the bench. 3 through 5, both starting in bench. Totally cool with it. Bob Nadaliki, Dolph Shays could both be upgrades for you, but they're not really worth spending the MT on, especially if you have some other spots that you can look to upgrade. And you do. You have two spots that I would look to upgrade. Number 1, sell Ricky Davis and buy Terry Dishinger. If you can, anyway. No, actually, what I would probably do is I would probably not spend the MT right there. I just start Luol Deng and bring Ricky Davis off the bench. Ricky's more of a primary ball handler. Luol's more of a defender. Put him in the starting lineup, let him play lock for you, and bring Ricky Davis off the bench since you have a primary ball handler in Tim Thomas. Outside of that, pick whoever you prefer between Penny and SGA, bring them off the bench, sell the other one, and buy Magic. So if you prefer Penny, go Magic at a Penny. If you prefer SGA, go Magic SGA, and then go Luol at the 2, Ricky back up 2, and your 3 through 5 can remain exactly the same. Just swap your 2s, in my opinion, since you're starting Tim, and go pick up Magic to replace whichever one of these two PGs that you don't like as much. Second to last squad today comes in from Ant. He's got 2.2 mil. He's debating getting Yao. The answer is yes. Go get Yao Ming. He's the best card in the game. He's borderline unstoppable. Incredibly good. You also need a backup PG. Even if it's just buying a guy, like if you like Westbrook, even if it's just buying a guy like a Penny Hardaway or Lonzo or an SGA, one of those types of guys, any of the other tall PGs, just get one of those to have in your last 3. Even if you do want to run Westbrook, you can do that. I would just get one of those guys, and I'd also replace Kobe with a guy like Luol Deng. But the main upgrade is Yao for Brook Lopez, and then after that, maybe a power forward as well. I'd consider a guy like Bob Nadaliki because I don't love Dwight. So that would give you something like Magic, Ricky Davis, Zion, Bob, and Yao. And then off the bench, you'd have something along the lines of Russ, Luol Deng, LeBron, AD, D-Rob, and one of the other tall PGs like SGA, Lonzo, or LaMelo. So really solid squad, just a few upgrades, and you're going to have an incredible team, especially if you pick up Yao. But then finally, last team today comes in from Hero. He's got 630,000 MT left. He's stuck when it comes to backup point guard and small forward. I don't love Kawhi as a starting small forward either, personally. I don't think he's bad, but I don't know if he's quite worth the price. And I kind of agree with what Laker fans said here. You get Tatum, you can get Zion, you can get LeBron if you want to go a little cheaper. Any of those guys, whether it's an evolved Tatum, a Zion, or a LeBron, any of those guys, whoever you want, can play that backup small forward position perfectly. You could even get 2 of them and sell Kawhi as well if you'd like to. Backup PG, I'm fine with Lonzo, but I would just get Magic. You can start Magic and bring Penny off the bench with Ricky Davis, and then you'll have Magic, Kazi, Penny, Ricky, and then whichever guys you decide at the small forward position. Giannis and Dolph at power forward is fine. Personally, I'd sell Giannis and buy Bob Nadaliki, but if you love Giannis, that's fine. And then Wang is a very good card, but I still think getting a guy like Kareem to match up against Yao isn't a bad idea. D-Rob at center as well is great. So kind of up to you if you want to swap Giannis for Bob, if you want to swap Wang for Kareem, but definitely would pick up a Magic, and then up to you what you want to do with the small forward position as well, depending on those guys like Tatum, Braun, Zion, Kawhi. Just pick 2 of those 4 and slot those in as well. So that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.